Yeah, that was the beginning. Here comes the end. So how are you today, this day? I wonder why we ask such a question. But we have to find out anyway, because we care. We care about things. And we care about you. We care about you, my friend. Many people feel alone today, wondering why doesn't anyone care about me? Let me write that down. Why no one care? It's a cry. Many do the cry, that kind of cry. And we need to see people care. They said during the war, when the children was collected into this rescue home for the children, that many died. Many died in their home, in that home, because they were not lifted, they were not touched. They were given food. They were given food, but not care. The only sign they stumbled upon was the question, why does someone live and someone doesn't live? And it was in this building where, I have to shut this down, where the children was laying in the end of the entrance. And then it was a big hall of those beds that children were sleeping. So they wonder why certain places in this room the children was dying and some was not. So they found out that the cleaner, the maintainer was lifting up those children at the end of the hall near to the entrance, because she wanted to feel some closeness, some touch from the baby. The rescued babies died, and they didn't know. They didn't really understand why some died and some didn't die. Some lived. And they found out that since this lady, the cleaner, was lifting up those babies in the end of the cleaning route at the entrance, they were held, they were touched, they were cared for. All the rest didn't survive or didn't manage so well. So that proves that love is something you can sense even from infancy. Love is something you know in the infant stage, where you experience your father and mother's love. I had this upbringing where I don't believe that my father did hold me very much, but my mother did. She held me, and I experienced her love. So any child, any human can go back to that beginning, the beginning of their infancy, their birth in the beginning. If someone there were caring for them. I don't remember much, but I do remember something. And I remember also how my siblings was in that infant stage, how they were, how much included I was. So such kind of, you wouldn't think that anyone would know. Why or how or who really cares? As long as it's given care. No, the infant knows exactly who really cares for me. I think that is kind of obvious. And the siblings. If I'm the last, I think that is kind of different from the first. The first siblings know well how they cared for the last one. Not to put myself in that. I don't want to make this as a sibling topic per se, but many people that end up drinking, filling themselves with narcotics, and blame the whole world for their tragic situation, may have experienced that kind of upbringing, that no one really held them, no one really cared for them, no one really bothered to see, to hear, to understand them. I don't know if they can make generalizations, but maybe the elders, I've seen in some families that the eldest, those that were born first, live in a way that is quite cruel. Maybe their demands they were undergoing under their parents, either it was father or mother, they were left for themselves. They didn't do enough, and maybe the siblings can't really understand why the older siblings behave as they do. Because I am the last one, may say, I'm the one that need love. I'm the one that is left out. But I think that those demands that the firstborn, the first or second-born were living under. The demand of, why don't you care for your sister? Why don't you care for your brother? You should take care of him or her. So how things can go. But you see, those demands will be fought for over the years. they will grow foreign to their siblings. As the begotten son, he came back, and his brother said to his, the elder brother said to his own father, "This son of yours." So you see that distance, according to how the parents behaved to their children in a different way. So maybe this kind of rejection of his brother had to do very much with the relationship between him and his father. Into the degree that the older brother didn't really mind his last-born brother, because he felt also left out. He felt also forgotten. He was in a way even more forgotten and a lost son than the last-born. And the father didn't answer, in my understanding, in a very good way, that he was lost and now he is found. I don't know whether it was that, but if he said that, that would be a cruel singularity preoccupation it's only the last-born that counts. So it grew kind of an envious thing between the first and the last-born son. Those brothers, the siblings, didn't interact so well. I think the older brother grew some kind of resistance. Now he get everything. Now he is the one that takes everything. After he was living with all his goods that you gave him, now he can come back and you still give him everything. And that kind of envious feeling, that kind of bitterness to his father, rightfully so. I don't think anyone have defended the older brother, but I am here to defend. Because he can grow on them. Maybe this father, which maybe is a very, it's the hardcore issue here, how the father behaved. The father was in a distancing to both of them. I don't know why, but it seems to be that way. That the father grew distance to both the brothers in the way he acted, both when the begotten son said that I've been looking for you every day. So that is a way of making the older feel so foreign in his own home, when his father can't really forget his brother. Why can't I be, for only one occasion, be there? So the older brother was a blind brother because he didn't see what he had. Maybe it was not conveyed to him as his father should do. With me you have everything, my son. You have me. So that may be a healing point. Here you had everything. Now this your brother. Now maybe the father grew regret that he may have forgotten the older son. It's just a thought that since some children are cared for, some are not. And those that are cared for maybe take things for granted. They don't take into consideration that they have siblings and how the siblings act regarding him or her into their own relationship with their parents. So I think in some families you have the oldest siblings that grew some kind of intoxication, some kind of a mania, some kind of disorder, because they felt unloved. No one cared. Why no one cared? I don't know why that, but it is a matter of survival. Love is that matter of surviving. And many people today, more than before, I think, because here in Norway, we grew out of the 70s, the generation after the war. I'm the first generation after the war, or second. My parents was young under war, so they gave birth to us, and as we have been following them up through the ages, it was this first, maybe they came out of some tormenting situation that the war made them go through. And the demands for volunteering to build up the country was in a way very meaningful. And not to go into details, but I think when they achieved so much, you can take a picture of Israel today. They had the hardest demand, both during the war, before the war, and now after the war, because the parents grew very materialistic orientated, because they depend their life on security, on not only the defense system regarding war, but also some economic security, health security. So they had to build up. Israel is a kind of a better picture than my own parents. And now you have a generation that is maybe coming out of this toxic place that this kind of materialistic time made it so toxic, because all this security was based on my words, my hands, my engagement. So the closeness, the physical, the mental, the emotional closeness to their children was not that prominent, was not that enhanced. They had to pay more attention to what they could do and what they could do for the country than what they could do for their own children. Not that I want to generalize Israeli, it's the same here. Some loved their children, and some got children in order to contribute to the growth of the country. And we do what we do, and you hear it. What I am doing, you will do as well, and continue and have some pride in what you can do. So therefore you have this generation of lack of understanding of psychiatric, the mental situation. And why did I bring up the occasion with those children in this maternity or this room, that some died and some lived? Some died and some lived. And those that lived were the ones that was held in their hands of this waitress, this caretaker, this cleaner. My friends, we need love. We need love that really cares for others. Today, love is what I can get from you. But love is when you care for others. That is not only there for him or herself, but in a small degree can do what they do in order to give something to other people. And I try to speak to the psyche, the soul of other people, because I want to do some impact on how we think, how we act, how we do to grow awareness of ourselves. What kind of impact love can do. Love that not only satisfies yourself, but in the end, it will satisfy you. It's like bless me, bless you. I want to bless you. I want to walk around and be a blessing, so I can thank God every day for the kind of blessing I have in my life. So siblings can have this disorder, and I think the story of the begotten son is very, very educative regarding the distancing between the parents and the children from their children. I think that is even growing more awareness. It's not only about a man that left God and are coming back. No, it's far from that. It can be, of course, but it is not. That is a very narrow way to understand this story. I think Jesus here put so correct words into this story so we can learn out of it. And this older son, he may have the worst experience of envy. He envied his younger brother. But what to say? That kind of envious will grow on you. And when you see your siblings get more love from your parents than you, why don't you love me, Daddy? Why don't you love me? Why do you love my sisters and brothers more than me? Why do you do that? That is something I also cried for growing up. The attention my siblings got from their parents, I didn't get the same. And I had to struggled all my life in order to cope with such differences and try to understand that not only impacted this on me, I think it impacted them too in some degree. I can't answer for them. It's only them to say. I have no clue. But in a larger family that have many children, the parents should be very keenly aware on how they act with the children. In some families, even today, the firstborn boy get it all. Maybe it is because they see that is the responsible thing to do. But it is a way to judge people blindly without any sense of feelings, nor of awareness, nor of capabilities. If you are belittled in any way, you will think that way when you meet other people too. That you can't cope with the demands, that you can't really do what is needed. That in your own mind, you think differently. You may have this disorder, that you may be even better than anybody else. But that came from your parents. If you are this kind of a guy that try to prove himself, to prove herself to be the best, you are no less than him or her. What to say? What can we say to that? Maybe next time, maybe another time we can go into that, but siblings have a tendency to compare each other when the parents didn't really love them, or love them in a very personal and intimate way, so that you feel firsthand they loved you. If you can't say that, maybe it wasn't love anyway. It was just having children that was the obligatory thing. Everybody have to have children. If not, you are condemned. You are in a way removed from the blessings that God gives. I think many people do think little of themselves when they don't get children. They are not good enough. There should be a mother. There shouldn't be just a lady. So they grew desperation to get more and more of this endless, bottomless pit that they are digging. So either you love yourself or your children. Maybe that is the core here. Maybe that is the core. If you do something for your children, they will understand immediately that you really mind them. That you really mind them. What did your parents do for you? What kind of a life were you growing up to? Were you held? Were you touched? Were you hugged? So only you have the answer, and I think that my video here may promote you to reflect over this, your life, so that you can start anew. Okay, shalom to everyone.